Hey folks, it's ioEther and we're back with some more World of Tanks. As you can see, this is Slim Jim in his Object 252 Defender on this Tier 9 game on Durpenberg. So this is a Tier 8 premium tank for the Russians, and it's okay. It's pretty good. We're going to see exactly how good it can be. But first, I do want to note it does have the same weak point as the IS-3. That particular flap is only about 30 millimeters thick. You can overmatch it with just about everything. So if you're playing this tank, be careful for this. And if you're playing against this tank, kill it. Kill it with fire right there. Alright, go. Now, as I should mention that he's in platoon with Rumpel and Great Bob. And so, of course, he does have some support. And of course, again, as always, before we get into this game, please do hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and also tell your friends. We're trying to grow the channel, so the more people who see this, the better. Of course, I'd also like your input on the new intro. What's it like? Have you enjoyed it? Does it fit the channel? Because I really think it does. And so yeah. That's about it, I think, for everything I need to say. So let's just get into the game as he moves up here. Oh, we're just gonna pop that map a little bit bigger so I can see it and you can see it. So he's moving up this side with the rest of the mediums. He's left the heavy tank dudes to a few scattered heavy tanks, but really, there isn't anyone really on their team other than him who's a decent heavy tank. I guess the Oni. So he doesn't want to go be a heavy tank against an E75 unless he has to. Eventually they'll have to face down the E75, but hopefully by then they'll eliminate most of his team. And that is the goal. So unfortunately, with T-29 is peeking the ridge in front of him, there's not much you can do against those. He does aim and takes a good pot shot at the VK4503. And that goes through. That tank does not have good turret armor. It doesn't have good armor anywhere on it, actually. His turret is the strongest, but even that doesn't mean a whole lot when shooting it with a bigger, a higher tier tank. T-20 is taking extreme risk by poking over that hill as far as he is, so he can shoot down at Great Bob, I believe is who he's actually shooting at. And there, at that point in time, he just felt what it was like as we shot him. Now, he could have popped that over that ridge and shot Great Bob, but he chose to fall back as soon as he got shot, which is something that people do all the time, and it's just silly. I understand wanting to fall away from death, so that you fall back from when you get shot, but if you've already been shot, then maybe you should try and at least get some damage out. But anyways, or try not to get shot in the first place in order to get damage. E75 is the last one left, and it turned out the E75 also came to his side. That beautiful shot, not exposing more of his tank than he absolutely had to, just peeking barely his gun and the upper part of his turret over this ridgeline, and then aiming for the lower glacis on that E75. He does, however, get hit by the T-20, who's finally learned how to shoot from behind the hill, as he's just not shooting at tanks that are directly below him. He's tracking the T-20 even though he can't see the T-20 right now. He assumes he's right about here, and then once he's but loses interest when he decides the T-20 is probably not going to fire from that location. Pops up and takes the shot at the E75, but drops back down immediately so that he just bounces. Look at that shot. E75 aiming for the weak spot, ends up just barely catching the gun mantle, and that reflects off the top. Looks like we fired at the T-20 and then only managed to track him. He gets finished off by artillery though, so it all comes out as worth it. Looks like we're getting hit by an E75 here, but the snapshot first takes out the E75 before he's able to reload and put the shell into us that he obviously wanted to put into us. I don't know if we're going to get a shot on the... yes. We do manage to tag the 1375 set it on fire and let it burn to death. That is a great way to take care of an enemy tank. When you set it on fire and just watch it burn, baby, burn. I should do a video all about engine fires at some point. And just watching enemy tanks die by fire. But anyways, it looks like at some point Grey Pop actually got taken out. I think he actually got killed by the E75. So I wasn't paying attention as to when exactly that happened. Pushing across this bridge always is a bit risky. It's actually very risky, especially when you don't have a lot of friendlies with you. Sorry about this. It's so early in the morning here. I'm trying to record a bunch of games. And so, if he's not careful, he's gonna run into more resistance than he can handle. You also got to remember where the bridge is in this, as that's one of the best ways to die in this game, or in this map, is to drown. That happens all the time. He's going to be shooting up at the STRV. I don't think he really wants to do that. He wants to get to the cover, close the distance with the STRV, and be able to hit it without getting, he doesn't want to get sniped without knowing where the shot came from, at least. Nice shot from artillery, taking out the CDC. Unfortunately, Max or Rumpel gets taken out in return, and does in fact manage to take out enemy artillery, so that at least balances the teams out a little bit. You can see again it's down to a 4v3. We had a similar thing the last game where we got down to it ended up being a 2v2 before that started to go sour too. So if you haven't seen that game, you really should go watch it. We're hunting for the STRV right now because he does not want to let this thing get away. If this thing gets away from him right here, which I think it actually has, it can relocate to that hill fairly easily, and then all the distance he's going to have to cross to get there is just going to be one massive killing field. Plus it'll have support by them. So if it's still around here, that would be best, but more and more it looks like it's not around here anymore. More and more it looks like it has already fled and found another hiding spot. Where exactly that is, we don't know. I do want to note that he's down to only 3 shells left of standard ammo. That's about to be 2 as he fires 1 into the T-34. Only 2 standard ammo left. And again, look at that STRV, exactly where I figured it was going to be. No way to detect it. Fires blind, and the STRV returns fire, taking out our gunner. He is just going to pop that guy back in, I assume. At some point, are you just going to pop that? Pop the. Your gunner is still dead. There's some. Gunner's still dead. Yay, thank you. It should be noted he is using extra combat rations. I assume he's not grinding for money, he's just grinding for experience playing this tank for that, and that's why he's not worrying about how much money he's spending. Now we did get a kill over on the other side. Took out the 704. And now, if he pushes around this side, he'll actually avoid the STRV, but he'll come face to face with the T-34, who can definitely one-shot him. So, yeah. His team is telling him to go cap. It looks like he's actually going to listen to them. Maybe. T-69 is going in for some lights. If we can light the T-34 and take him out of the game, then this whole thing becomes a lot easier. Yeah. Slim is warning the 69 about the STRV because, of course, the STRV can totally fire on him from his location. Oh, STRV apparently advanced and can't fire on the 69 from his current location. But we get a great shot at the... Oh, just dropping below the ridgeline before we can get that great shot off on the back of the tank. Going for the STRV, though, will expose us to T-34 But that's okay. Artillery for the win. I think right now he's probably praising artillery, even if right now normally he hates it. T69 should be able to take a T34, assuming. So of course the T69 can get the drop on the 34. 34. I don't know if 34 fired or not, but Slim seems to be assuming that's what happened. Though 34 could be reloaded by now. It looks like, yes, in fact, it turns out he was reloaded. And I think that is where he hit us. But it doesn't matter. All's good. All's well that ends well, right? As we go ahead and just aggressively take out the T-34. And the thing is, of course, even if the T-34 had killed us, he would have fired. T-69 would have come around the side and pumped 2 or 3 rounds into him just to make sure he was dead. Because he was very dead at that point in time. Ace Tanker, Bruiser, Spotter, Arsonist, Fighter, Fire for Effect, and Shellproof. Wow. Managing to snag the high caliber, not that we're truly surprised about that. With the sheer number of people he shot and killed, unfortunately not able to grab his top gun, and apparently not even able to get steel wall either. Who claimed the steel wall? Did we not get shot enough for a steel wall? Is that what happened? We only received 10 shots. Oh man, need one more to get a steel wall. If you can block 2,000 damage, it really should give you a steel wall, even if that's not actually 11 shots being fired at you, right? Like, I mean, it feels weird sometimes that people manage to not get steel walls who obviously deserved it. 1,600 spying damage just because he hadn't done enough in this game already. He needed to do just that little bit more, and he does in fact make 80,000 credits off this game. Oh wow, good job, Slim. Thank you so much for saying this in. And again, if you want to support the channel, best 2 ways you guys can do so are tell me how the new intro is going over, and bring your friends into the channel. Let the channel grow some more so we can get some more awesome replays in. Thank you all. Have a great night. This is ioEther out.